Today, we're going to talk about a simple, but honestly incredibly powerful system for managing your money. Seriously, this can be a total game changer for getting your finances on track, so let's just dive right in.
Okay, let's just be real for a second. When you hear the word budget, what do you think of? For a lot of us, it feels like a trap, right? Like this long list of things you can't do, and it just sucks all the fun out of your hard-earned money. If that sounds at all familiar, you are in exactly the right place.
But what if we flip that idea on its head? What if managing your money wasn't about punishment at all, but about having a really smart plan, a system that actually brings you clarity and, believe it or not, a huge sense of freedom?
And this right here is the big mindset shift. Great financial management isn't about cutting everything you love. It's about smart allocation. It's about giving every single dollar a job, one that covers your needs, your wants, and yeah, most importantly, your future. So let's talk about the 50-30-20 rule. You know, people call it the gold standard for a reason. It is so simple, it's super flexible, and it gives you this clear, powerful blueprint for your money without getting bogged down in tiny details.
Here's how it breaks down. It's so simple. You take your after-tax take-home pay, and you just divide it into 3 buckets. That's it. 50% goes to your needs, 30% is for your wants, and a really crucial 20% is for your future.
Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty of what actually goes into each of these categories, because once you see this, you'll know exactly how to apply it to your own life.
All right, first up, the biggest slice of the pie, 50%. This is the foundation for your entire financial life. This 50% is all about your needs. Think of these as the absolute non-negotiable costs you have to cover every single month just to live and get to work. These are the have-to-haves. So, what counts as a need? Well, we're talking about the big stuff. Your rent or mortgage, your utility bills, groceries, getting around, and insurance. And listen, this is a big one. It also includes the minimum payments on any debt you have. So what happens if you run the numbers and, whoops, your needs are way over 50%? Don't panic. You really have 2 main levers to pull. You can either find ways to lower those big fixed costs, like housing or your car, or you can focus on ways to bring more income in.
Okay, now we get to the fun part, that 30% slice. This is all about your lifestyle.
This bucket is for your wants, and honestly, this is what makes the whole system actually work long-term. This is the money for things that make life enjoyable. So many strict budgets fail because they just forget that we need to have some room for fun.
And what goes in here? Oh, all the good stuff. Going out to eat, planning a vacation, your hobbies, Netflix, that morning coffee you just can't live without, or buying new clothes that are more of an upgrade than a necessity.
Now, the goal here isn't just to spend wildly. It's about being intentional. So the real action here is to ask yourself, what in this category actually brings me real joy? Spend on that and feel totally free to cut back on the stuff that doesn't. And finally, we've got the last 20%. And I gotta tell you, this is arguably the most powerful piece of this entire puzzle. This is not just whatever is left over at the end of the month. No way. You need to think of this 20% as paying your future self first. This is your wealth-building engine. This is the category where your financial freedom is actually built. This 20% has 3 really important jobs, kind of in this order. First, you use it to build up a solid emergency fund. Once you've got that, you use it to aggressively attack any high-interest debt, like credit cards. And then, you funnel it into investments for your future.
So how do you make sure this actually happens every single month? One word: automate. You set up an automatic transfer for the day your paycheck lands. Seriously, if that money never even sits in your checking account, you won't even be tempted to spend it. It's out of sight, out of mind.
Okay, so now that we've gone through all the pieces, let's just zoom out for a second and talk about why this simple rule can be such a profound game changer for your financial life. I mean, look at the difference. Traditional budgeting feels like restriction. This is about strategic allocation. It replaces confusion with total clarity. But maybe the most important thing, it stops lifestyle creep. You know, that thing where the more you make, the more you spend, it stops that dead in its tracks. And here's the beautiful part. Because it's a percentage-based system, it just scales right along with you. When you get a raise, you don't have to sit there wondering where all that extra money went. You already have a plan. Some of it can upgrade your needs, some can go to more fun, and that crucial 20% automatically starts building your wealth even faster.
Ready to give it a shot? It's really this simple. Step 1, figure out what your monthly take-home pay actually is. Step 2, calculate your 50, 30, and 20% dollar amounts. And step 3, just track your spending for a month and see how close you are right now.
And please, hear me on this. The whole point is progress, not perfection. If you start out and your numbers are like 60, 30, 10, that is totally okay. That's just your starting point. The only goal is to try and move that needle a little bit each month.
So, I'll leave you with a question to get you started. Take a look at your lifestyle spending, your wants. What's just one thing in there you could cut back on this month to get yourself just one step closer to hitting that powerful 20% goal for your future?